Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now I'll be presenting the resolution that was passed and discussed in Finance Committee. The present economic situation of Pakistan is alarming. Sheer mismanagement of resources, the habit of ad hoc decision making, the lack of short-term and long-term planning has pushed an agricultural country to such a point that our citizens are even deprived of the commodities that the country produces in bulk. Over-reliance on foreign aid, consistent imbalances in government budgets, and increasing proportion of dependency has taken the country to a point where the urgent reforms are inevitable. In Finance Committee, we discussed the reformation of taxation system, the suggestions to avoid the shortages and inflation food prices, the policies to break the vicious circle of poverty, and the long-term and short-term steps which can be taken to assure economic development. So these are the proposals and suggestions that I'm presenting now. Special task force with special powers of on-spot fines, punishments must be established to control hoarding and smuggling. The task force will be working in coordination with highway police and border control agencies to control the smuggling. Further, to resolve the issue of hoarding, warehousing industry needs to be regulated and reformed. Producers should not be allowed to store raw materials and finished goods in same warehouse since they can then hide the output. There should also be a separate audit for all warehouses. Restructuring of taxation system, minimizing human involvement, or putting in computerized system which would make sure easy and clear accessibility of records. Political parties should have well-defined tax policies in their manifesto prior to election. The policy should explain how the parties will finance their promised development work such as education, healthcare. Furthermore, such manifestos should be debated upon on media before elections. Tax incentives we talked about in our committee. There should be incentives on paying taxes. For example, special favors such as free promotion by government for those who pay taxes, corporations and individuals, both are included in this. There should be incentive for those carrying out corporate social responsibility. For example, if a business organization spends money for scholarships, training programs, building road networks, etc., then they should be given tax exemptions. Incentives should also be given to tax collectors. Now, then moving on to energy issues and energy crisis that we are facing presently, there is no national coal policy in place. Government must design and define a clear policy to utilize the coal resources. Same policy is required to extract other minerals like copper and gold. The government must follow CTL, coal to liquid technology, to overcome energy crisis. The technology is based on converting coal to liquid through synthetic fuel process. The technology has produced good results in South Africa. Moreover, China and US are implementing the same technology to overcome energy crisis over there. In presence of huge and abundant coal reserves, the technology is feasible option for Pakistan to overcome all the energy crisis that we are facing in the form of oil and electricity. Then moving on to poverty alleviation and other relevant issues. 3-month internships in rural areas should be made compulsory for all graduates, since such a measure would enhance the rate of human resources development in poor areas. We should open up vocational training institutes at district level starting from poorest areas of the country so that we can utilize those idle factors of production. Such a move will not only ensure the capacity building in most deprived areas of our country, but would also increase the tax revenue for the provincial and federal government. Then, finding better markets for locally produced goods, especially for labor-intensive rural-based industries, such as handicrafts, weaving, and hand-woven rugs. Land reforms we talked about in our committee. Land reforms or consolidation of lands should be passed. We need to consolidate divided pieces of land so that the benefits of large-scale production can be reaped. And then eliminating middlemen so as to increase the returns for private sector producers. This can be achieved by advertising the opportunities to large companies to earn lucrative profit. The idea, and this is the last point that I'm mentioning, The idea of social entrepreneurial competitions we talked about in our committee. In this competitions, young participants would present their development ideas in front of policymakers and development organizations, where the winning team should get funding to execute that. The main aim of such event is to maximize the social welfare. Thank you so much.
Thank you.